Hey guys, welcome to Black Energy and Truth, where we're gonna sit down and have a discussion. This podcast is for everybody. This is my first podcast, so please bear with me. Today I have my roommate Ebony here, and the topic today just so happens to be about roommates. So we're gonna just jump right into the discussion. So, in my personal definition, I believe a roommate is just somebody that you sit up here and get a place with, you live with, and y'all sit up here and split everything 50-50. Rent, utilities, and whether or not their name is on the lease, that's something that y'all have to sit up here and agree on. You?
Yeah, my definition is kind of the same. Basically, a person that you live with or sharing space with, and it could be whether it's a family member or a friend.
Yeah. Ooh, family member or a friend.
Or a stranger.
Or a stranger.
Different strangers, not me, but...
With that being said, I want to go more into like the family ordeal, because I just want to get like a clear perspective on like the difference between roommates and actually living with your family. Because I know we both came from living at home with our parents, of course. I'm like, everybody got to come from somewhere before you jump into having your own place or whatnot. But do you feel like there's a difference like within like the dynamic of living with family in a household where you still got your own room but you're not paying any bills, into jumping into like a roommate situation?
Yeah, I feel like that's mainly the difference right there, paying bills. Like, even if you are living with your family and you're still paying bills, it's not really like your house. That's always going to be your mom's house, your dad's house.
Right.
Like, you get an argument, this is my house, you can leave. Like, this is right here, this is our house, I can't tell you to leave. Like, so, we pay bills here, and it's less restrictive, I guess. Like, you can kind of do more than you would at your mom's house.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's like a totally different dynamic, because it's just like even if you're paying bills at your family house or whatnot, I don't know, sometimes you don't have the same freedoms that you have in your own place. Like, I know some people, families, you pay bills, all right, cool, you basically adult, you can do whatever you want to do, come in at any time. I'm just like, I moved back in with my folks the second time around. I was helping them out paying like a portion of the rent or whatnot. And, my mom was kind of still on me as far as, me coming in and out and whatnot, which I understood. It's still her house. I still got to follow her rules because I'm living under her roof. But it's like, it's nothing like having your own place. Yeah. And like, even with having a roommate or whatever, you still got to be respectful of the space or whatnot, but you can still pretty much do what you want to do. And I feel like the reason to get a roommate is, number one, you want to do what the fuck you... Woo! Might have to bleep that out. You want to do what the crap you want to do. Please excuse my language. I have to adjust to that. But you want to do what you want to do. Number one reason as to why to get a roommate. Do you have any other reasons?
Okay, reasons to get a roommate. Bills. It's way cheaper. Because imagine if it was only one of us in here trying to pay this rent. Our rent kind of high, y'all.
Yeah, we pay about like what, 10, 15 a month?
Envy Ebony, send us some money. Just saying, times is hard. Ain't get my stimulus check yet. No. Okay, but for real. Yeah, I think paying bills, we basically split everything 50-50. So it's pretty even, pretty cheap. Way cheaper actually than having it by yourself. I think kind of sharing things. Like, I know Jada, she already had an apartment when she moved in, so she kind of had a lot of the things that we needed for the apartment, like dishes and stuff. We didn't really have to go out and buy those things because she already had them.
Right.
So you can kind of compare what each other has and then put that together. That's saving money.
Yeah, but I mean, also I think when getting a roommate, you gotta pick your people wisely. Because, I mean, you can't just jump into everything with anybody. You feel me? Like, you brought up living with a family as a roommate. Whew. Like, I done lived with family before. I mean, even though it was like, I was way, way younger, but I still remember, like, other family being in a household and living together and whatnot. I wouldn't necessarily jump and live with a family member Like, I done sat up here and almost tried, and I realized that wasn't gonna work out. So I'm like, okay, let me try living with a friend, and it's going cool, you know. Despite like the little debacle we just had, but it's going fine. But you know, yeah, living with a roommate, it was to make things easier. At least that was my reason.
Yeah.
That was my reason into jumping into this, because before, I never had a roommate before. I know you lived in a dorm or whatnot. If you wanted to explain how, is it like a difference between living in a dorm and then living here in the actual apartment complex?
I would say mostly bill-wise, I guess, because, I mean, it was kind of like our parents kind of paying our tuition and stuff. Like, we all kind of got stuck with each other. It wasn't like we really had a choice, kind of. It's like we all signed up for this dorm, and I couldn't tell them, oh, you can't live here.
Right.
Like, so we kind of all got thrown together, and like, as I was saying, living with a stranger, we didn't know each other, so we had to get to know each other. We had to get to know everything about each other, what each other doesn't like, and it was difficult at first.
Yeah.
You know, especially you got people coming from different backgrounds in college. You know, I had a white roommate, I had a Mexican roommate, and I was black, so we had a very diverse room. Yeah.
Goodness.
So we were learning each other's cultures.
Wow, living that multicultural up and up.
Yes, very multicultural. But it worked out, actually. It worked out, and I ended up making some lifelong friends, so it was good.
Would you say it was easier living in a dorm than living with me? Like,
I think that living in a dorm is a bit more restrictive, honestly, because it's smaller. It's 3 of us, and it's like we all got to share this one room. You know, we got the bunk beds. Y'all know how dorms look or whatever. It's more restrictive. We didn't have our own space. So I feel like this is a bit easier because we can, you know, if me and you get into it or we need our space, we can go
to our separate
ways.
Rooms.
Like, imagine us mad at each other in the same room. Like, I'm going to lay in my bed and you lay in yours. I'm not going to talk to you. Like,
just looking at each other.
Exactly. So it's a little bit more difficult to, manage those things. You really gotta communicate.
Man. I think it would have probably been better if I sat up here and, I don't know, went away to school, actually lived on the dorms. I would have got that experience way beforehand. But I don't know. I'm like, I jumped into this. I'm just like, you know, we've been best friends since, elementary school? Like 6th, 7th grade? I'm like, that's a long time. I'm just like, okay, you wanted to see how it is living on your own. I'm just like, I wanted to get back on my own or whatnot. I'm like, I already had an apartment before, so I already had the experience. I'm like, okay, let you get your own experience, and also I can sit up here and save money by splitting everything in half. But this was a learning experience. Like, I did learn, like, it is pros and cons to sitting up here having a roommate. Ain't nothing like being on your own, but I mean, some people, they prefer living with people, just for like the comfort of it. And then some people, they prefer living on their own just for the comfort of that. And I did come to realize, no offense, that like I do have to sit up here and be on my own just because, I mean, I guess I realized for myself that I like to control my environment. Like, I like to feel comfortable in every aspect of my house, and like I realized what my mama be talking about when she say she don't be wanting, like, Jada, no, I don't feel like having company today. Like, oh, but Mom, we're only gonna be in the living room chilling. I don't care. I don't want to have company today. I'm just like, I am my mother. I hate to admit it, but I am my mother.
Get it on camera.
And I mean, it's just pros and cons to this whole thing. I would say, like, the pros to having a roommate, again, you save money in a sense. Y'all, I'm not really saving money.
That's her own fault, man.
I'm not gonna even sit up here and lie. Like, I'm not really saving money here. Even though I got a decent job, or had a decent job, Corona, but I had a decent job, wound up making a good amount of money. But I think, yeah, like she said, that's my own fault. I don't like to budget. I don't like to save. I'm like, oh, roommate, I got extra money, I'm gonna spend it. But also pros, I don't know, what else is the pros?
I feel like having a companion, like, I know some people, you do like being alone, but you don't want to be alone all the time. Like, sometimes it gets boring, like you in your house by yourself, in your room all day by yourself. Like, so sometimes it's kind of nice, you know, you see your roommate, hey, what you doing? like somebody to talk to, or somebody to have fun with. Like, especially if you're living with someone that likes similar things to you. Like, y'all can do similar things, have fun doing that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Let me see, is there another pro? I got somebody to pick up my packages when I'm at work. We got different, like, literally our work schedules are opposite.
Day
like
and night.
Yes, I'm like, she's coming in the house, I'm leaving out the house, and vice versa, whatever. But yeah, like, I guess, like, the companionship or whatnot, because sometimes you do get lonely. Like, being in the house, especially during this dang on corona time, in the house 24/7. There's nothing to do, but at least you can come out.
Go to my job.
Oh no, I don't want to go to your job. Stop trying to make me go
Essential
there.
worker here. They don't care. They don't care about me.
But there's also some cons to having roommates or whatnot. Like, I done set up here and had the roommate situation, and I also not lived with a boyfriend before, but stayed in his place before, and I'm just like, living with somebody, that is such a difficult adjustment. Just because you both have two different ways of living. Y'all coming from two different lifestyles or whatnot. One person might be neat, one person might be dirty. And not like, I don't know, you do got people that's dirty, but like not like super dirty, but I'm just like, it might not be to your own standards.
Yeah.
And y'all might have some conflicts about that. Some other cons as far as cleaning schedules and whatnot. Some people might not even like to clean, but y'all got to get on the same page, because I'm like, that's y'all shared living space. Especially like common areas, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and things of that sort. Those are things that y'all got to have a real discussion about as far as cleanliness and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Any other cons that you can think of?
I think just like the freedom of it, kind of. You can't like just feel free in your home. Like, you never truly had the house to yourself. Like, okay, if you're here, like, you never know when I'm just gonna pop up and be here. Like,
right.
Or if I'm here by myself, I never know when you're gonna pop up. Like, it's just like, you never truly alone. Like, I mean, I get you gonna show alone time sometime, but it's like, it's limited.
Right, understandable.
And I also think you have to be like considerate of the other person. Like, I know you said we have different schedules. Like, I work nights, you work daytime, so I'm literally sleep all day,
right.
And she's here, so it's kind of like she can't maybe like be as loud as she wants to play music as loud as she wants, and I'm literally up all night, so I can't be all loud while she's sleeping. So you got to think about that too.
Yeah. All right, so we done discussed pretty much everything, definitions, pros, cons, all of that good stuff. Probably just want to talk about what makes a good roommate for the people that's probably thinking about getting a roommate or anything like that. So what do you think personally, what makes a good roommate? And I think it's different for everybody, but for you, like, what makes a good roommate?
Okay, what makes a good roommate? I made a little list, y'all. I'm trying to think of it in my head. I think someone that's financially stable. That's number one. Fairly important. Very important. Somebody that respects boundaries, I guess. Like, somebody that knows, like, you can't just be in there eating people's food or touching people's stuff that's not, made known, like, oh, this is for the house, or if it's not for the house, don't touch it. It's not yours. Or don't be going in people's rooms and stuff. Like, just know your boundaries right there.
Yeah.
What else makes a good roommate? I think just having an understanding of that you guys both live there. Like you said, you want your house to be your way. You say you kind of control it. And I feel like, that's not a really good roommate quality to have.
Understandable, but at least I admit that, and I don't enforce that on you or whatnot. Like, I control that within myself. I know and have a constant reminder, like, this is not only my space. Like, this is a shared space. So I just gotta suck that up, like, that little character trait, they gotta be thrown out the window, because you only control your space, your bedroom,
right,
and things of that sort. I think what also makes a good roommate is just be considerate, like, in all aspects. Like you said, you come home 7:00 in the morning, you want to go eat you something, go to sleep. So I'm like, I keep that in mind. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be sitting up here making all types of noise or whatnot. I mean, you might hear me walk back and forth to the kitchen, but overall, I'm like, I'm being considerate. And I think anybody that's gonna sit up here and jump into being a roommate, you cannot jump in thinking, all right, cool. Yeah, just because you pay the rent or whatever, or y'all share bills or whatnot, you still have to be considerate. That's number 2 above be financially stable, because you want your person to sit up here and have your rent,
Pay
you
your
know.
bills.
Yes, unless y'all both gonna be on the street. And also, I think this is going into like the suggestions, advice. Have a discussion beforehand. Have an agreement. Like I said, we sat up here, we talked about it. We had a roommate agreement or whatnot, but still we found ourselves in a situation where, you know, we kind of butt heads a little bit. It was like a little slight of a conflict. So I'm like, I think that's unavoidable. Any roommates, y'all go have disagreements. Y'all go butt heads a little bit, but as long as you bring it back to the very beginning of what was the main point, what was the main agreement. And as long as nobody's space is disrespected, I feel like you'll be good. You got any advice?
I think that just like in any relationship, whether it's like boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate, whatever, communication is very key.
I forgot all about that. Communication.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, is she gonna say it? Like communication. Like she said, we talked about a whole bunch of different dynamics, like how we would do the bills, how we would do groceries, like cleaning, company. Like we discussed all of that stuff, and I feel like you really do need to communicate that stuff. Like even, okay, you had the discussion after, you know, before you moved in, but you got to have it after as well. Like just to reiterate it, you know, communication. Because I feel like our little, you know, whatever you want to call it, argument,
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, could have been avoided if we would have communicated. Like y'all, we really was walking around here. We didn't talk for like 2 months. Living in this house together. Didn't talk for 2 months for a situation that
could have been avoided if we just talked it out. Like, I thought she was mad over one thing, which she wasn't. She thought I was mad over a different thing, which I wasn't. And, you know, we just avoided each other within our own household. And I'm like, even though it was working for us, for the time here, like, we sat up here and non-verbally separated everything. But I'm just like, that won't work for everybody. Like, so, and you know what,
you don't want to be in that awkward position.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to eliminate that tension. I'm just like, communication is key. Even if you feel like you sitting up here, you beating a dead horse. Like, I'm talking about something over and over again. I'm like, as long as you sitting up here, you getting your piece out. Yeah. I'm like, eliminate that tension within the, because, nobody want to live like that. I'm like, we got 7 more months up in here. Nobody want to sit up here and we walk around not talking or whatnot. So I'm like, that's pretty much it. I don't really have any other advice. Be picky with who you live with. Yeah. You don't want to jump in with anybody. I almost had 2 other roommates that I was considering, and I'm so glad I did not jump into those situations because that would have went downhill very fast. So yeah, just be really, really picky. You have to be considerate and just think about what your future is going to look like. Think about, also, take a self-examination and think about who you are as a person. Do you even want to sit up here and get into that situation? What type of qualities do you hold? What type of qualities does that person hold? Because once y'all in it, once y'all sign that lease, both of y'all name on that lease, you in it. Unless it's a month-by-month lease, which I think that's rare to find. Y'all in there for 12 months. So just be real careful. And any last thoughts?
Yeah, just be careful. You know who you move in with. I feel like even if it's like somebody you're really similar to, because I feel like we real similar. We like kind of doing the same things and stuff, but like we still, you know, kind of just want your own space. Like you really need to know ahead of time whether or not you can live with a roommate. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people believe they can in the moment, like, okay, it's not gonna be that bad, but you really gotta think about it. Like, are you used to your own space? Do you like your own space? Do you mind somebody being in that space? Like, you really got to think about these things. So just think about that. And also, like, if you're living with somebody right now and it's not working out, like, I just want to say, okay, maybe y'all don't want to live together because, you know, after this, you know, we don't plan on living together.
No, we don't. We good.
But like, y'all can still be friends. Like, y'all don't have to stop being friends. Because I can honestly say, like, I roomed with people before in, like, dorms that I was friends with, and I wouldn't live with them again. But we definitely good friends still. So.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, if you're coming from a family household and you moving out and you want to move out with roommates. Oh, and this is something else I want to put out there. I think it's totally different, dudes being roommates and females being roommates. I think dudes are way more comfortable being roommates with each other than females. And there might be like a power dynamic there. I don't know. But yeah, take that into consideration as well. And moving from a family household to being roommates is totally different. Yeah, you probably had your own room, or you might have lenient parents that allowed you to have company and stuff like that. But once you live with somebody else, you might find that it's more difficult to live with that person than it was to live with your own family. So I'm like, you really gotta just have a deep thought, sleep on it before you sit up here and jump in, sign a 12-month lease. Well, with that being said, that wraps up this episode. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you learned something from this conversation. Please make sure to follow and subscribe on the YouTube page and follow on Spotify. I will have this up on Apple Podcasts soon enough. And if not, you have YouTube and Spotify. Black Energy and Truth on both pages. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, and share with your people.
Share it.
Black Energy and Truth. Let's talk about it, y'all.